Hello and welcome to National Camera Day. My name is Vanessa Joy and I'm a Canon Explorer of Light in the New Jersey, New York City area. Today we're talking about love for work and home. And what does that mean? We're going on a shoot today. We're going to shoot with my kiddos and we're going to talk about ways to photograph kids easily, stress-free. And then I'm going to take that same camera equipment, swap over to the professional photographer side of me and not the mom side of me, and go ahead and photograph a model right downtown in the streets of Freehold where I live. So before we go out there, I just want to talk a little bit about the settings and the camera gear so that we have that all squared away. Especially since we'll be starting with the kids, the last thing you want to do if you're photographing little ones is to not know what you're doing with your camera and have to change settings and fumble around. And today's one of those days where the clouds are going in and out, which might be frustrating for you if you are trying to go manual on your camera, but no worries. Let me just go through it all, show you what I've got, how I'm gonna set my camera, and then we'll go have some fun. Oh, and then afterwards, we're not gonna stop at taking pictures because, well, if you're a photographer as a professional, that's not a full and complete service. You have to edit them and then print them. And if you're a mom or a dad at home, just photographing family, friends, you don't wanna stop and leave them in your camera. You want to print them, share them with family and friends, so that's where we will actually end this today. So let's go. I am shooting with one of my favorite cameras, the Canon M50 Mark II. This is such a great camera. It is small, it's lightweight, it yields professional results. I've taken professional photos with these, portraits mostly, and that's what we'll do today. But it's also in a price point where this just might be your camera that you have at home, your run and gun, your travel camera, and it's just something that you can have by your side that isn't going to weigh you down. So that's the camera, and the cool thing about this camera, it's interchangeable lenses, and I do have a nice set of lenses that we'll be working with today. These are an EFM mount series of lenses, and the first one I have here, 55 to 200. So this is a zoom lens, it's a telephoto lens. It has a variable aperture. You're probably not going to worry about that too much. I'll show you. We'll get there. We'll get there when I get to my settings. But this is a 4-5-6-3 lens. This is going to be the lens that I'll probably shoot for the most part photographing my kids as they're playing, and I'm just trying to get them in action. You'll see why once we get to there. So that's lens number one. Lens number two, and I would have to say this is my favorite lens for this camera, the EFM line anyway. This is the 32mm 1.4 lens. This is a gorgeous portrait lens. It does go all the way down to f1.4, so it's considered a fast lens, and it's going to be able to give you that beautiful bokeh, that blurry, hazy, dreamy looking background while you just hone in the focus on your subject. And again, working with this camera, this M50 Mark II, the eye head face detection, it's awesome. So you'll be able to shoot all the way down at 1.4 without having to worry about blurry pictures. And then the last thing I want to bring with me today is this little lens. It's such a cute little one. This is a 22mm. Now that sounds like it's a little bit of a wide lens, but this camera is a crop sensor. It has about a 1:6 crop ratio. You don't have to worry about that too much, but it just means that this lens is roughly a 50mm, let's say. This is a 1.2 lens, so we're gonna have a lot of fun shooting with this one for both my kiddos as well as the model that we're shooting with today on a more professional level. So that's pretty much it for my gear. Well, no, that is it for my gear. Okay, let me talk about how I'm gonna set my camera. Because the clouds are going in and out, and because I'm gonna photograph my kids, I wanna have a not fast aperture, rewind, because I'm usually doing that. I'm usually going aperture priority, but I'm photographing my kids, which means they're going to be running around. They're going to be moving, and I can't have a slow shutter speed or they'll end up motion blur and I'll end up with a blurry picture. I also want some control of my camera, so I don't really want to go completely automatic, but I don't want to go completely manual because, as you might tell from this video already, we have the sun coming in and out. It's going behind clouds, popping out, so my exposure is constantly changing. I want to give the camera a little bit of control, and I want to have a little bit of control too. I'm going to end up setting this to shutter priority, and with shutter priority, I'm going to set my shutter speed. I want to be about Let's just go with 500th of a second. That's a little bit high, but it is a bright day out. I think we'll be good with that, and I'll have my ISO nice and low. Now, so that's where I'm going to end up being. I am going to set my ISO to auto. So normally I wouldn't do this if I'm inside, but I'm going to be outside. It's not going to go into dangerous territory. So I'm just going to let that go on auto. I've set my shutter speed nice and high so I can freeze the action of my kids, set my ISO so that I don't have to think about it. And then my aperture, the camera's gonna worry about that for me as well, which is really helpful because as I zoom in and out, my lowest possible aperture is changing. So that's the point of the variable lens. But again, it's not something that I'm gonna have to worry about. I can just shoot. And then lastly, I'm gonna stick auto white balance. Auto white balance does a tremendous job, and we'll go from there. The last thing I want to talk about is my focusing settings, then I promise we'll go shoot. All right. This is crucial just to make my life easier and let the camera do the work of following my kids. So I'm going to go ahead and put on face detection here. We're going to enable that autofocus method. So the camera's just going to find my kiddos' faces, focus on them, no matter how fast they're moving. All right, that's it. Let's go shoot. Got all my stuff. So here we are at the park, and what you want to look for, at least what I look for that nice, little bit more soft, less harsh look to my photos, is a shaded area. Now lucky for me, one, the sun just went behind a cloud like we were talking about before, but also the playground here is in the shade. Hi honey, you could come over. The playground is in the shade, so we're gonna have the kids just play there, and I'm gonna capture what I can, again, with that longer lens, auto ISO, auto aperture, and just setting my shutter for 500th of a second so I can catch some action. You ready to go play? He's ready to go play. I try not to direct anything to begin with. We'll get to directing stuff in a little bit. You did big steps?
Yeah.
Off the bat, because this is backlit a little bit, the kids are kind of dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my exposure compensation. It's pretty simple. You just look for the plus and minus, a couple numbers on the back, and I'm just going to go +1. And it's just going to brighten the overall exposure of what the camera thinks should happen.
I'm ready to sit and surf.
Careful. Are you going down the slide, Judah?
Yeah, and climb back up.
Okay.
Time to surf. Good surfing.
Good job. Are you going to climb back up?
Yeah. Mom, you gotta take a photo of this.
Oh, I do. Do it again.
I did big steps then.
So far this is working out great with the +1 exposure compensation and getting an exposure that I'm really looking for. All right, Lissy. Good. And they're definitely moving a lot, so that higher shutter speed at 500th of a second is giving me exactly what I need to make sure there's no motion blur. All right, in a minute, I'm gonna grab these kiddos one by one and bring them over to a spot that I already scouted out that I know would be great. What's over there?
A boyfriend there.
There's a what?
A boyfriend there.
Another kid?
2, 3.
Can you go on that one and jump off again? But don't do it yet. We'll do 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Nice job, Lissy. Cute. All right, so you guys just keep playing, and then I'm gonna call you over in a second, okay?
Yes, Mom.
Okay. Yes, Mom. She's doing so good. Let's go over here real quick and get set up so that I'm not doing that while the kids are sitting there. So this is a spot that I want to use because it's going to make my life easy in a lot of ways. Number one, would I like to use a reflector as a professional photographer? Of course, we're going to use one later with the model. But with my kids, the last thing I need is one more thing to do. So instead, I found a natural reflector, which is the sun right on this white sidewalk. That's just going to help balance the exposure that's on their face to the background. Another thing I really love about this area is that I've got something for them to stand on and play on, both here and this blue thing. So anytime you can get them just to be themselves and play, you're going to get better expressions out of them, and they'll be less bored too. So that's always helpful. Now the other thing we want to talk about is blurring the background. Now with this lens, it doesn't have a really low aperture setting, so I can't just set it to 1.4 and then have a nice blurry background. I have to sort of manipulate what I've got going on to get that separation of my kids to the background. So here's what we're gonna do. First thing I'm going to do is I have my background that's already further away from the bench. The tree is not right on top of the bench. We've got a little bit of space between the bench and the tree, so that will help. I'm also going to try to zoom in all the way to 200. This is going to help separate my subjects from the background because of the way that the compression of the lens, or the way that it makes it look like it's more compressed. And the last thing I'm going to do is add some foreground. I've already found a nice little branch here, and I'm going to use this in front of my lens to create some foreground to hopefully just give my photo a little bit more depth, even though I'll likely be shooting at around 6.3 or even higher on my aperture, which normally would mean everything's in focus, but we're just going to manipulate it a little bit. All right, let's see which kid we should bring first. Hey, Lissy! I'm going to go for the easy one. Lissy, come here! She's so cute. All right, so see that bench?
Yeah.
Can you go climb on it?
Like
You're good at that. I figured you were good at that. Oh, hurdled. Careful. All right, so stand on the bench, just stand on it. Yep, and go like this, your hair is all crazy like. And then you know what? I'm gonna give you a flower. Can I give you a flower?
Yes.
Here, take that. And you're gonna stand right there. And you're gonna just play with your flower. Can you hold your flower in 2 hands? That's great. Holding the flower in 2 hands. Here, take that. And you're gonna stand right there. And you're gonna just play with your flower. Can you hold your flower in 2 hands? That's great. Holding the flower in 2 hands. And can you say, stinky feet?
Stinky feet.
All right, now you're gonna sit on the bench.
I need to in the shadow.
You wanna sit in the shadow? That's actually a great idea. Oh, I love that. And then look over there. What's over there? Anything? And then sit up real tall. You are so tall. How old are you?
6.
You're 6? All right, and then come right here. And do what I do. Ready? You're gonna sit like this, but do it over there. Yep, right there. And then go like this. Can you lean this way? Nice job.
Flower.
That's okay. Can you go like this? Can you close your eyes like you're sleeping? And then open them. Stay just like that. Close your eyes like you're sleeping again. And breathe through your mouth. And open your eyes. Good job. Perfect. Close your eyes like you're sleeping again. Close them, close them. Keep them closed, but keep your head up towards me. Keep them closed like you're sleeping, and then just look at me. Perfect. Nice job, Lissy. All right, you can go play. All right, one down. Let's try for the other one. Can you tell Judah to come over? You brought Lala for taking a picture?
Yeah.
You did. Who's your Lala? But who is he? Is he your cuddle buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to give him a big hug?
No.
No? Where do you want to put him?
I'm gonna put him in my seat.
Okay. Do you want to stand up next to him?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, stands up.
He does. How about you hold his hand? Oh, I love how he stands up. That's so good. Can you put your other hand in your pocket?
This one?
Yeah. Good job. Now ready? Close your eyes. And then say stinky feet. Good job. Silly. And one more time. Close your eyes.
No.
No? Do you want to do peekaboo?
No.
Do you want to do...
No.
Oh, I like that. You're going to come climb on here. Show me how you climb on here again. Can you show me? Okay. Great job. Are you so tall?
Yeah.
How old are you?
3.
Let me see. How many?
3.
3. And how do you spell your name? Good job. Can you touch your head? 1, 2, 3. Nice job. Give me 5. Yes. Good job. All right, you want to go play?
Yeah.
Okay, go play. So that was perfect. Now what I'm looking for out of these photos is not everyone to be the most perfect photo of my kids. That just never happens. You did. You forgot your Lala. Go get him. What I am looking for is just that one shot that I'm going to be able to print, frame, hang in my home. You're hungry? Well, I guess it's time for a snack. It is. All right. One shot that I can hang with my kids, and then you know what? Let's see if we can get 2 of them together, because that really is the mecca of getting your kids' photos. You want to do? We're gonna do one with Lissy. Oh, and I can have you hold the stick. Lissy, come here. Go ahead. Go sit on the bench. Judah, go sit next to Lissy with Lala. And can you sit up, Lissy? Nice and tall. Sit right next to Judah. Do you guys stay close to each other? Do you guys like cheese? Do you like pizza? Look at me, who likes pizza? You do? Who likes broccoli? Not you? All right, if you...
Candy.
Who likes candies?
I do.
If you like cake,
Yes.
hold your brother or sister's hand. If you like cake. All right, do you like popcorn? All right, if you like popcorn, give your brother or sister a hug. Cute. All right, can you put your arms around each other? Let me see. And then ready?
If you like oranges, jump up and down.
Jump up and down. Jump up and down if you like oranges.
I want to.
Okay. All right, and then I thought you guys could play rock, paper, scissors.
I like that. I love rock, paper, scissors.
So exciting. All right, sit down. Ready? Go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Do you want to play, Judah?
No.
No? Do you want to play with Lala? No? Okay. You could just look at him, pretend you're playing. Oh, bless you.
I'm just tired.
Oh, you're just tired.
Yeah.
You are? You guys are done. You can go play if you want, or take a nap. All right, I think we got it. I think we got some of the kids together, and a bonus one to Judah that time. Now let's go ahead and use the same camera, switch gears, and go photograph a model. All right, so here we are transitioning into working professionally. We've got a few things that are gonna happen differently with the same camera. Number one, I'm going to change my lens. I'm using my favorite for this camera, the 32mm 1.4 lens. It's a great lens. It's gonna get me exactly what I want out of these photos. I'll probably switch to that 22mm. I misspoke before, by the way. It's not a 1.2, it's an f2. But we'll probably go back and forth between the two. This I'll focus more on close-ups. The 22, more full body, capturing the scene here in downtown Freehold. Now the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and switch to manual. I want to have manual exposure. I wanna have all the control in the world here because quite frankly I can, and I'm not fighting with my kids and just trying to capture them. I've got Brooke, who's awesome and listens to instructions, versus my kids. So let's go ahead, set my exposure. Right now I am at 100 ISO and it's already bright, so I can stay there. I am at 1.4. I want to be down there. I can be down there. It's what I'm going for. And my shutter speed we can pop up. Looks like I'll be good. Looks like I'll be good around 500th of a second. Let's take a picture. Oops. Yeah, that's about what I want. We're pretty good right there. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna dial in because I want a nice warm look to this. I'm not gonna go with auto white balance. We're in the shade, it's not gonna change. So I'm gonna go ahead and change my white balance. Let's just go to cloudy setting. It's gonna get me a little bit more warmth in these images right out of camera. All right, this looks good. Okay, so Brooke, what I'm gonna have you do, let's just have you just lean against this wall first. What I really love is the contrast between the red dress and the yellow, kind of complementary colors-ish, and she's got awesome blue eyes, which will enhance a little bit. But let's just go ahead and start working here. And go ahead and like play with your dress a little bit. Love it. Perfect, and yeah. If you look this way, that's where the light is awesome on your eyes. So yeah, look over that way, eyes back to me, and then play with your hair a little bit. Awesome. Love that. Let's get my reflector out. Again, this was something I didn't want to mess around with the kids, but if I can, I'm just gonna one arm this reflector. This is a Elastilite Tri-Grip reflector. We're just gonna add some more light into her eyes because she's got these blue eyes that I really want to see pop. Let's see, yep, that should do it. Awesome. Perfect. And then let's get one. Let me see. Oh yeah, I can definitely have you right in the middle here. That looks good. So you're taller than me, so I'm loving being able to do this. And I'm gonna get a little bit of light here. And yeah, do you have a side that you like better?
This one.
Okay, so keep me that side, that works. Always ask. And then look down that way. Hold that right there, and then just eyes to the camera. Nice. Gorgeous. And then go dead on towards me. And then kind of serious expressions for these. Nice. And look down, let your hair fall in front of your eye. Perfect. Love that. And then tuck your hair behind. Nice. Switch to that 22mm lens now, holding all the things. It's in here. I know it's in here. It's so tiny, it's fallen to the bottom. There it is. Ta-da. All right. Let's switch, so now I can get more of the entire scene without causing myself to run into traffic. Oh, and the blue chairs are cool. So actually, if you take a step this way, that's your spot, and I can get like this yellow and blue. Lean a little bit more to that direction, maybe like a baby step that way. Yeah, right there. Perfect. And then think of this like very Instagram, like toe points, and like, there you go. You're just in the city, you know. Awesome, and play with your dress a little. Hang on one second, it got brighter. So I'm just gonna, perfect. You know what would be cute? If you step up to that, and then we'll do like a cute little hop off. So if you, yep, step up on there, and then like a very like, almost like you're stepping off, like looking for your cab. And hold on one second, let's get the eye autofocus going. Good, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Try it one more time, and then let's have you go from like, you're walking off that way.
Okay, so jump and walk off?
Yep, but just walk off that way. You don't have to jump, but just walk off. And go ahead. Perfect. Look behind you. Nice. Do that again. When you do it, look more behind you. Go ahead. Nice. And then do it the other way, because that way when you look behind me, you give me your better side. Perfect. Love it. And then maybe I'll have you, is it super dirty if I have you sit? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that looks great. It's fun because I get all the reflection, plus the blue, plus the yellow. Nice. Perfect. Just kind of like lean off like you're looking that way. Kind of serious, more expression. Yeah. Hang right there. And then eyes back this way. Give it like a little tilt. That looks great. Nice. Switch back to that other lens because with the blue background, it's really making her eyes pop. I think what'll be good is if I have you move right to here, right to the dirtier part of the entire place. Because then I'm going to be able to get, ooh, sensor out, sensor out. Then I'm going to be able to get both the yellow, the blue, and the red of her dress, the blue of her eyes. I think this is going to be the magic spot. So maybe a little bit more so you can actually lean on this. Perfect. Maybe like lean off, like you just lean your head back and look up that way. Yeah. Eyes up a little more. And then to me again. But do like, look at me kind of like this way, almost up and like you're bored. Yeah, that's it, that's perfect. And then play with your hair, kind of mess it around a little. Love that. Nice. Oh, I love that stick there. Perfect. And then do one like, call like the beautiful headache, like kind of mess around with your hair. Yeah, but lean towards me a little more. Love that. Perfect. And then do one where it's just kind of like down and messing with hair. Yeah, that's perfect. Your eyes look so good here. Love it. And then deep breath, look towards me, kind of serious expression, chin down a little, and then tilt a little that way. And then look down that way. It's all about just head movements. And then back at me when we're done. Awesome. Absolutely love it. stuff here. We were able to use a couple different lenses, get professional photos out of this gorgeous camera. Now let's do some editing, do some printing, and have some fun. All right, so I lied, we're not going anywhere. We are gonna find a couple more locations because we've got time to do it. So I wanted to go with something nice and backlit, create like a really dreamy, ethereal type feel. So let's go ahead and do that first. I'm gonna come, you know what? It's funny because I gotta go a little taller so I don't cut her head off with the fence behind her. Actually, I don't mind it too much, this looks good. Yeah, that looks awesome. And you know what? I'm gonna hold your bag for one. Love that. All right, we're gonna try a couple more spots. This one I really liked because we've got the reflection in the background, which now the sun came back up, so it's gonna change a little bit, but just a little bit more light. Cute. Let me back up a bit. Love that. Nice. And then take a little step this way. Give a little just turn. Actually look right towards Rob. Yep. And holding the acorn. And then you can look at me. Perfect. Love it. And then just give yourself like an actual lean against there. Nice. Perfect. And then look towards my elbow. Awesome. Yep. And then bring it like that way. Yeah. Love it. Perfect. We're gonna cross the street. I'm gonna switch my lens so we can actually walk with her. Get some motion shots while we're here. I'll give that back to you. Let me go ahead and switch. Right now we've been shooting anywhere, if the sun comes out, we go all the way up to about 1250 on the shutter speed. So we're pretty good at catching motion and action, so we should be good if we kind of almost haphazardly walk the street and then let the camera do its job, focusing on her eye as we walk. Let's give it a try. So we'll walk over here and I'll just kind of walk in front of you a little bit. The nice is once it turns, it's a nice long light. Yeah, so that'll be good. All right. Okay. All right, go ahead. So like just look left, look right, look up, down. Nice. This is Influencers in the Wild. That's exactly what this is right now. Perfect. I hope someone catches us.
Me too.
I've been dying to get on there. All right, there's another wall right over here we're gonna head to. And take your bag, just kind of hold it in, and then just lean off that way. Yeah, love that right there, it's perfect. And then your hand that's holding your hair, bring it out because it creates like a cool triangle. Yep. Yeah, hold that for a second. Keep your eyes closed. Nice. That's what I was looking for. Do that one more time. Back, same spot. Let me just back up a little. Play with your dress a little bit. Kind of move it around. Love that. Very fun. Perfect. All right. Come in the shade because I know it's hot. One thing I love about this camera, it has a nice big LCD screen so you can really take a look at the shots that you have. Definitely have some winners in here. Love the direct light. Really, really fun. And then let's scroll past, get some of our walking across the street. And then I really love some of the ones that we got in the beginning, just nice soft light, hiding in open shade as we can. Everything from really cute and flirty to ones that are a little bit more serious. We got the haze coming in here. And then just love that. Look at the way her eyes absolutely pop here, right in focus. I mean, that was at probably f2, maybe closer, maybe 1.4. But love all the different colors that we have in here. So we were able to shoot my kids with this camera. We were able to shoot professional photos with this camera. And then of course, we're gonna get into editing and printing. I'm gonna show you how I edit these, how I get them exactly what I want as far as colors go. I don't do a ton of editing, but just a little bit of pop I think is gonna go a long way with these. That's it as far as shooting goes. Now let's head to editing and printing back in my office. All right, so now we are back here in my office and I want to show you a few different things. Now we are going to end up printing these photos on this Canon Pixma printer. This is the TS9521C. No, I did not memorize that. I do have to read it. This is my office printer. It's a great printer. It's got, you know, the scanner on here. You've got the bottom tray and the rear tray. And one of the nicest things about this printer is that you can put your memory card right in here and print. So if I wanted to, I could simply take the photos we took, pop out the memory card, put it into the printer, hit print, and select any photos that I would like to print out. Printing is that easy. It doesn't have to be something super complicated. So don't think, oh, I can't print my pictures. It takes forever to get it done. It doesn't have to. It's literally that easy. Pull it off. But I'm going to show you a few other ways that you can print your pictures. Now, I've got my phone here, and on my phone, I do have Lightroom enabled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Wi-Fi the pictures that we took, both of the model and my kids, from the M50 Mark II, Wi-Fi it or Bluetooth it, it's got both enabled, right over to my phone. Do some quick editing with some Lightroom presets that I have, that I've made. It takes 2 seconds. And then from my phone, I can send a print. So I'll show you how to do that. And then I will also show you the reason I have my computer screen on here. So let me just go ahead and do the first part. I'm gonna go ahead into the Canon Connect app. Easy connection guide, I already have it set up so it doesn't take that long just to connect the camera to the phone. Really not too long. You do have to set it up in the beginning, but once you've got that, just a few seconds. Images on camera, so I'm gonna select the camera that I'm using, and you can rate the pictures in here so they pop up first. So I'm gonna go ahead and join. If I rate the pictures while I'm pressing play on here, then it's very simple to see those images that I wanted first pop up. So that is an option, but I didn't take too many pictures, so I'm sure I'll be able to weed through them and just pick some favorites. All right, so here's what I've got. You can thumb through, you'll notice that it's low res, but then it pops in, it's nice and crisp. And take a look at some of the images that we got. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just select all of these. And you have the choice when you import of doing the original size or the reduced size. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the originals. This will take a little bit more time having the camera put the pictures on the phone because I'm using the original file size JPEG, which is a little bit larger. It's not huge, but it's going to take a little bit more time. I'm doing that because I know I'm gonna end up printing. Now, if you weren't printing and maybe you just want to get it on your phone so you can pop it onto Instagram or social media, Facebook, whatever, really quickly, go ahead and use the reduced size. It's perfect web resolution that you can post anywhere, social media, and it's fine. But if you're gonna print like I am, I highly suggest you use the original. Now it's going to pull in the JPEG. It's not pulling in the raw image. We're not working with the raw image, just the JPEG, but I think we're gonna get some pretty good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and open up Lightroom. You are going to see a bunch of my pictures from weddings because that is what I primarily do. We're gonna import from camera roll and I'm just going to grab, these photos. So I'm gonna go ... select mode, and I'm just going to select, and you can see behind the scenes from my engagement session yesterday, and we'll hit add and a TikTok video. All right, so we pulled in these 5 photos. Let's just scroll down to them and we will get to editing. Where I lost them, hold on. There we go, there they are. All right, now you don't have to do a ton of editing to make pictures great, but there are a couple of things that I like to do just to make them pop. I like a little bit more color in my photos. I like softness in my photos. So I'm gonna go ahead to my presets, and I do have my own Vanessa Joy styles that you can grab at presets.breatheyourpassion.com. They are both mobile and desktop enabled. So I'm going to use the one that I call Joyfully Simple. And you can see it just softens it up a little bit. There's a few others here, like I can use Fresh and Clean if I want something a little bit brighter. I also have Bright and Vibrant, which lets a little bit more color through. A little bit of Light and Airy if I'm going for that warm look. Too much for this one. The Pastel and Paisley is actually kind of cute, but I like the color. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to go to my Joyfully Simple, hit OK, and then go over and adjust my light a little bit, maybe a little bit more contrast, maybe bring up the whites a smidge, maybe bring the blacks up, and that looks good to me. I'm going to slide over to the next one. We're not going to overcomplicate this. I'm just going to hit Previous, All. Ta-da, look good. For the most part, we were in the same lighting conditions when we were photographing my kids, at least for these pictures that I printed. So I'm going to do the same thing. Previous. That looks good. And let's just go ahead and hit Previous for Brooke here. That looked good. Like, we're just not going to overcomplicate this. All right, this one I might want to do something different because this is a fun photo. Let's see, bright. Yeah, Bright and Vibrant might look good. A little bit of contrast, maybe Dark and Moody. Oh, see, this is a problem. You could just sit here forever editing your photos. Gray Day. Oh, I like Gray Day too. I don't know what to do. You can tell me what to do, guys. All right, let's go with, I like this Dark and Moody. It brings up a bunch of texture. So let's do that. And then I'm gonna go into the color. I'm going to the red. I'm just gonna saturate it and lighten it a bit because I really want that red dress to pop there. So let's do that. Make it more on the red side versus, like, I could change it to orange. I'm on a little bit more on the red side, so that looks good right there. Okay. So now that I'm done with those photos, I'm just going to hit select, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, share, and I'm going to export to camera roll. Doesn't take too long. By the way, this Lightroom app is free. There's a free version and a paid version. And it's just nice. I do this on all of my weddings. I do this with engagement sessions, as you can see on the screen of my phone. That's all you see here in Lightroom. So it's just nice being able to give my clients a quick peek, but it's also nice for me in my life to be able to quickly grab photos, my favorite ones, and hit print. So all you're gonna do is you go into the Photos app and pick which picture you want to print. You'll see here, the first ones are the non-edited ones. Not that they're bad, we just gave them a little bit of pop. There's a good before and after of that one. I typically come in here and I delete the old ones so I don't confuse myself as to which ones I've edited. Let's go ahead and we'll print this one of my kiddo. I'm going to use, got some paper options here. I have some semi-gloss paper. You know, I think I'm gonna 5x5. Let's just go big. Why not, right? This is my Pixma photo paper. It is Canon photo paper, 8x10, 8.5x11. Oh, so nice. And this is a Pro Platinum photo paper. Might be a little bit overkill, might not be. They have a lot of different kinds because you can get some that are like glossy, some that are matte. And it definitely lends itself to a different type of photo. But so there we go. That's the glossy. I'm going to pop it right back here. Get it in there. All right. So I'm feeding off the rear tray there. And here we go. All right, so we're just going to hit, at least this is on the iPhone, it's what I got, but you know your phone, you'll probably figure it out. Gonna go to my sort of export setting here, and then we're going to print, and you could go right, there is a print app for Canon, which is what I wanna use. It's going to give me a little bit more freedom in moving things around here and making sure I'm printing what I wanna print. So I'm gonna go into my print settings. I'm gonna do one, print with the paper that's set up on the printer. I'm actually gonna go right to paper size. And this is that 8 by 11.5. It's not photo paper glossy. This is Pro Platinum. But you know what? That might be considered pretty much glossy. Let's go with glossy photo paper. Borderless, color mode. All right. That looks good right there. Back. And then I would just hit print and it would send to print. I want to show you the second way you can do it if you don't have that Canon print app, although it is the way that I recommend that you print it. It doesn't have to be the way that you print it. So going into here, again, you can just go to print, select printer, and then you see my Canon series right there. That's perfect. I don't want it in black and white. I want to keep it in color. And then just hit print and it's gonna do its thing. All right, there it goes. There it is. You know, there's always something so incredible just about having that print in your hand. Sorry, I'm not even showing it to you. There she is. Look at that color. Look at that vibrance. It is super sharp. This looks awesome. Okay, let's move on to the computer. I want you guys to be able to see what we've got going on here. So here are all the different photos that I took straight out of camera. Nothing is edited, so you can see what we actually did, what we actually took here. And I did pull most of my favorites as opposed to just showing you absolutely everything. So these were the ones where my kids were not running away from me, let's just say. All right, and then we have the ones with Brooke. Just the color that comes out of this camera is incredible. Love, love, love. And I love this red dress with the yellow and the blue in her eyes. Absolutely perfect. All right, so these are all my keepers, let's just say. I really love this one too. Sorry, you hear my kids in the back. I'm a real mom. I don't just play mom on the internet, so you're gonna hear my kids. All right, okay, so let me narrow it down even further. These here were all of my absolute favorites. So let's go ahead. Let me just pull in some of the favorites. I think I'm gonna do this one of the two kids together. Let's do this one because it's super cute. And let's just pull in, I do like this one a lot. All right, so I'm gonna pull these into Lightroom. I don't wanna do a ton of them because you don't wanna sit here and watch me edit for all of eternity. So let's just pull these into Lightroom, we'll import them and I'll show you what I do as far as editing and then we'll print them out. Here we have all of my favorites here with Brooke. I have the same presets like I mentioned from my phone. I've got them on here too. So I'm just gonna use some of those for some quick adjusting and then I will fine tune. And we could always go black and white with these, but I don't know. I like the colors, they were good. I think fresh and clean or joyfully simple, maybe bright and vibrant. Nah, let's go fresh and clean here. And then I am gonna up some of the saturation because I do love that. I'm gonna quickly come in here and fix my daughter. If you have kids, you know how often this happens. This mark on her face. So we're just gonna quickly fix that here in Lightroom. Now I could have done that, by the way, on this picture because she does have it here. I could have done that in Lightroom on my phone, but I just didn't. But I could have. All right, that looks good right there. I like that. I think this looks good. We'll keep that as is. Let's go to this one of Judah. Oh, maybe this would look good in black and white. Maybe the punchy one, faded one. None of them. Let's just up that exposure a little bit because it does need to come up a smidge. I think I'm gonna have to have this in black and white. Yes, let's go here. I'm going to start with black and white faded and then kind of stack. It does change some of the adjustment and stack the punching on top so I get a little bit more contrast because look how sharp that is. We shot this at 5.6, 500th of a second, 250 ISO. Super sharp. Absolutely love it. And we can just leave his crusty boogies because, you know, they're kids. That's what they have. You know, if you only print perfect pictures of your kids, you haven't printed their personalities. All right, let's go ahead over to Brooke here. Joyfully simple, definitely smooths out the skin tone. Bright and vibrant, fresh and clean. Okay, let's go with Joyfully Simple, and then I'm just gonna bring up some of the color. And I'm gonna go into my local adjustment brushes. I have a brush here for softened skin, and we're just gonna go over her skin a little bit. Nothing super crazy. I don't do a ton of editing in general. So it's gonna be really soft, and you can even go over her arms. This is also a preset I have over her knees here. And it's very slight, so that was the before here. And then that's the after. It's nothing crazy. Now what I am gonna do, I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. I'm gonna go into my Saturate Eyes local adjustment brush, and I'm gonna color in her eyes because her eyes are so blue. I just wanna make them match. So again, there's the before, there's the after. It's subtle, but I think it does a darn good job. So that one looks good. And then let's go ahead to this one. Now this one, I think I'm gonna end up doing one of my more stylized presets here, like the Gray Day or the Dark and Moody. You know what? I have some other ones down here. Let's maybe do one of my grainy image ones. I don't know. That one's fun too. Oh, you know what? I like that one. That one's actually a Manny Ortiz. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna saturate her eyes just because I can, and maybe even bring down the blue a little bit. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of pop because I can. Soften the skin. Not that her skin really needs it, but I find most of the models that I work with appreciate some skin softening there. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And go across her arms. And that looks good to me. So let's go ahead and export these, and then we will print 2 more. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Put it in subfolder to print. Don't want to resize to fit. I want it to be as long as possible, and export. So that is the longer version. If you're especially doing more professional photography, you'll probably throw it into Lightroom and really work on the images. It doesn't have to be crazy long. You don't need to Photoshop them to death. The images that are coming out of this camera are pretty darn good. I know I am happy with them. Oh, we're ready. Okay, cool. All right, now printing from here is as easy as, I believe, just doing Control P. Coming up, yeah, preview's opening up. And then I can just print, and it's gonna print. Actually, oops, I'm gonna stop that because it's gonna print a regular paper because I didn't stick this in the back. So let's go ahead and stick this in the back. Okay. Otherwise it takes it from the bottom tray, and this is just regular paper. All right, so it is as easy as just doing that. You know, you can go a little bit further, maybe double click on one of these images, then go to print here, and a dialog box will come up, and you'll be able to select some of the settings here, which is definitely preferable. You want to give the printer all the information you possibly can. So we're doing a portrait. We've got the US letter, borderless, please. And you know what? I probably have to fill entire paper. And then we're gonna go into media and quality. We're gonna feed from the rear tray. Media type is photo paper. We can go into the layout a little bit more here if we need to. Paper handling, we don't really need to do too much of any of the rest of this. Let's just go back to preview. You know what? Let's just print entire images, and then I'll just trim the sides because I don't really want to crop that in any more than I need it to be. Yeah, let's do that. That looks good. Okay, and print. Now another thing you can do is print it directly from Photoshop. Maybe there is something that you were going to edit in there anyway, so you could always print directly from there. So I am going to open up one of the pictures in Photoshop just to show you how you can print from there. All right, here we go. We're in Photoshop. We're just going to File, Print. I'm holding this in my hand to remind myself to put it in the rear tray, which I can do. And let's go ahead and get to our print settings so we make sure we do this correctly. Going through, scale the print media. This looks good. Okay, let's get this one going. Perfect. All right, let's take a look at Brooke. Oh my gosh. Look at that color. Oh, so good. So you can see right there, she's got such great color, such great vibrancy, and of course this is already dry. Maybe it was a little sticky. Is it? No, that was just the gloss of the photo paper. And I'm absolutely loving these. So this one we did a borderless print right here, which does mean I had to crop the photo a little bit. We're cropped off a little bit on the top and bottom, but not such a huge deal with the photo of Felicity. This one right here, we made sure that it fit on the page. We weren't cropping anything, so I'll just throw that in a paper cutter or be really careful with scissors if I want to. But these are looking so great on this photo paper. Let's go ahead and wait for Judah to pop out our black and white photo. This has been so much fun for me, by the way. Thank you for joining me here with Canon on National Camera Day. And if you have any questions, I'm hanging out in the chat here so you can ask any questions that you would like, and I will get to them hopefully by the end of this stream. Oh, here he comes. I love this picture. This is typical Judah for me, definitely my son doing that. So to wrap up, we were shooting with the M50 Mark II, couple of different lenses, shot for work with a model, shot for home with my kids, and then went over the different ways that we can edit and print. Whether you want to just pop that memory card right into your printer, or you want to throw it on your phone for some quick social media posting, or even some editing here in Lightroom, or if you really want to get into it, head to your computer, drop them off there, do more editing, and then print from there. There we go. There he is. Look at that cutie. He's the best. Awesome. So that's what we got. Our 3 final photos, although I can't even say they're my favorite. I really don't even know if they're my favorite. So that's what we got. 3 of the photos right here that we ended up with. All right, so there we go. Our 3 final photos, although I can't even say they're my favorites. They're just the ones that I happened to pick for you guys. I'm just happy we were able to do this. I was able to print some photos of my kids, got a professional photo in there as well, and all with this pretty affordable camera, some lenses, and an inexpensive printer as well. That's it. I am Canon Explorer of Light, Vanessa Joy. Thank you so much for joining me here today and having fun at work and home. You can find me at Vanessa Joy on Instagram, or you can find me at youtube.com/Vanessa Joy for a bunch of photography tutorials. Thank you again. Bye.